Hi, this is Graham Helfrich, Technical Advisor Manager for the Engineering Software here at IHS Markit. Welcome to the weekly Did You Know episode, where we learn how to do something of value that you probably didn't know about your IHS Markit engineering software. Today's topic is about finding pipeline bottlenecks in your gathering system, but specifically how to take a picture or a map of your gathering system and really quickly starting to learn where are my bottlenecks in my gathering system. So imagine going from this, a map. It can be a JPEG, a bitmap, whatever you want. These are your pipelines. How do you go from this to this, where the red pipes are showing us where our friction, where our restrictions are, and also how the pressure distribution is among our wells. How do we do that so quickly? Well, we're going to be using a software called Piper. Let's jump into it. So I'm going to start from scratch so you can see how easy this is going to be. So Piper uses a GIS map to make this really easy. Everything has a location. First, I want to bring in my picture. So it can be, again, any JPEG or bitmap. Now the trick is to make this map go to the right place in the world and stretch to the right side. We need to give 3 latitude and longitude reference points on the map. They can be anywhere. We just need to know any 3 points. If I knew this point, I would set that as one of my reference points. In this case, this is my first reference point up in the corner. I'm using NAD 83, so I'm going to paste in my latitude and then my known longitude for my first point. My second known reference point is down in the bottom left here. I'll paste in the coordinates for that point. And my final known point is up in the top right, so I'll set that. Okay, so we can say okay. And here is our map. We can zoom out and see where this actually is in the world. Okay, it's up in the northeast US. And you'll notice that everywhere I move my mouse, down in the bottom right, we actually have latitude and longitude points being updated. So right now we need to add things like wells, facilities, pipelines. Let's start with our well locations. So I'm going to import my wells just from a simple table. I have the well names and their lats and longs in a table. So well name, latitude, longitude, we say okay. Okay, and now my wells are located. Now we need to add some facilities. So I'm going to zoom in to where I know my delivery point is. And we have all kinds of different facilities here, compressors, pumps, separators, etc. Our delivery point is right here. We have a compressor right here, and we have our separator just upstream of that. Now we need to start drawing some pipes. So we can create our pipeline diameter list, kind of like a palette of different colors, in this case diameters. I'm going to start with my 6-inch pipe. This is where this gets really cool. I'm going to start drawing my 6-inch pipe connecting my facilities, and now actually drawing and tracing right over top of the image. The reason this works is because this map is to scale. Every pipeline I draw, the length is known, and that will be used when we do our pressure loss calculations. Okay, so that's all of my 6-inch pipe. Now I'm going to switch to my 4-inch pipe. We'll connect this well to the gathering system, and we'll keep tracing and drawing on top of our map. The other great thing about this is it helps the engineers get familiar with their gathering system. Okay, so when we zoom out, if we just turn off the map, we see we're left with the start of an actual gathering system. And when we introduce our production rates, we're going to start seeing our pressure losses and finding our bottlenecks. So fast forward, I finished drawing my pipeline network. I've got my wells there. Now I've gone ahead and input the current rate that these wells are producing at in the field, and I want to see where are my bottlenecks. So We're going to turn off the links and we're going to start to use these really cool diagnostics here. And one of them is our pressure distribution map. Okay, so what this is showing us is these wells with warmer colors, there's higher pressures there. We're talking about 700 psi, and then closer to this area, we're down in the 400 pound region. Why is that? Is it friction? Is it hydrostatic effects? Well, we're going to turn on our frictional pressure loss map. Now, the color of the pipe represents how much pressure we're losing to friction through that pipeline. And the way we report it is in psi per mile or kPa per kilometer. So we see this is a major bottleneck right here. We're losing over 30 psi per mile of pressure to friction in this system. Okay, so now why these wells are at a higher line pressure is explained here because of the friction. Even cooler than this, we can actually schedule future well tie-ins like these right here and see now how will the pressure increase in these wells and how will that friction change. So this is really valuable for looking at a snapshot of how your gathering system is now, plus scheduling things like compression, new well tie-ins, and line loops. I'll be showing another episode about how to schedule these sorts of things, plus how to connect your RTA models to these pipeline networks so it's fully integrated with the reservoir. So what does this mean for you? Well, really using a map like I've shown you here allows you and anybody to get your surface gathering system model set up really quickly. The next thing is if you're wondering, I wonder where the bottlenecks, where the restrictions are in my gathering system now. I just showed you how quickly you can see that with Piper. The visual aspect is so important, and the ability to schedule things in the future like new well tie-ins like I showed you will let you quantify the impact of any backout and line pressure increases. And that's it. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please give me a call or an email and subscribe to be notified of next week's Did You Know episode.